Dragon Ball Super, Chapter 38, titled The Last Resort of Universe 6, sees the continuation of the Tournament of Power, with Caulifla just raging. No, I mean Kale just raging out of control. All these blonde girls look the same. Just going berserk and being completely unable to control her power, which Vados readily points out. This girl is on a warpath. She ends up going flying past both Frieza and Goku at an incredible speed. Punching at the ground, screaming, and just sends out this massive shockwave of energy that ends up pushing out a multitude of characters. Just all these dudes just out just like that from the force of her power alone. Then she ends up going after both Topo and Vegeta, almost knocking them both off the stage just in this surprise attack alone. Vegeta manages to catch himself by sending out a beam sword from his hand and uses the energy to fling him back on. Meanwhile, Topo is caught by Dispo just in the nick of time. It is insane. She then manages to grab two of the members of Universe 4, the last members of Universe 4, and just simply tosses them out, and boom, Universe 4 gone like it wasn't even shit. Moscow, with the mini Moscow popping out of the robotic shell, demanding that the last few members of that universe fuse to form Annie Liza, or Annie Raza, however the fuck you say that goddamn thing's name. So we get this massive thing that took the combined efforts in the anime of Goku, Android 17, Frieza, and Vegeta to take this thing down. It's the thing is towering over Kale like she is an ant, only for her to just go in, completely check him right in the stomach, and he falls off the platform. All show, no substance. But ultimately, he was overly cocky about the situation, like, hey, you can't do anything against giant ass Annie Raza, only for him to just go flying off the stage, and thus Universe 3 out, like it wasn't even shit, I tell you. Like, dude, what the hell? But a lot of this kind of makes sense to a certain degree, because the universe survival arc was supposed to be like, what, an hour? Yet we had all these fights going on. It was Namek all over again. Whereas here, there is a swath being cut through these characters like nobody's business. People are dropping out left and right. Universe are destroyed like they were a complete and utter afterthought. You know, I mean, I, I don't know how people really feel at the end of the day, because some people enjoyed the universe survival while others felt it prattled on for too long. But any person who felt like it was going on for too long, this fixes all of that by just having Kale just rush through these jabronis like they are toilet paper, basically. She even starts to grapple with the last few members of the same universe that Ribrianne comes from. And, both, Caulifla's kind of taken aback, whereas Kaba tries to kind of calm her down in the fact that he's just like, yo, I bet, Kale didn't even think to deceive you with her power, but no, Caulifla is overjoyed. It's just like, man, this is great. Look at that power. It's awesome. So I love the support these two have for each other. It's super endearing, and it's really the selling point of their character, if nothing else. and thus the members of Universe 2, you know, are pretty much brought down, and it's gone just like that. No heartfelt goodbye, no sticking to themselves up until the end. No, Universe 2 gone. And we end up with the very last member of Universe 10. What was it? Obini, who had that showdown in the anime with, Gohan, where, we see his family and the locket, and, Gohan had these reservations about taking all these universes, which is a plot point that ultimately didn't feel like it went anywhere at the end of the day. But Obini's just like having this last stand against Kale, just being like, yo, I understand that our universe didn't really, go towards training or physicality above all else, but that's fine. To fight on behalf of the gods is an honor in and of itself, and that is the essence of Universe 10. And he goes in, and I respect the hell out of this dude for at least trying to put up a fight right up into the end. But he gets decked, he gets put out, and just like that, Universe 10 is phased out of existence, with Goash just giving this simple wave to Universe 7, like, we did all we could, later. And it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, they're dropping so fast that it's so hard to process. But that's the way it should have been. This is an hour-long tournament with, how many was it? 8 universes being involved? That's 80 people in total? Like, dude, you had to rush through this, or else it would have easily been a day-long tournament. And whereas Champa's just like, yo, this is amazing. This is great. I'm so glad that Kale is on our side. Vados is just like, no, I don't really think that's the case. And we see that ultimately, whereas Caulifla tries to calm down Kale because it's very obvious she's getting exhausted, Kale just smacks away Caulifla's hand and just runs off to continue fighting. You know, Caulifla tells Magetta, the big heavy hitter, to stop Kale because she is raging out of control and she needs to calm down. But when Magetta goes in to stop him, Kale just takes the big ass mechanical robot alien and just chucks him right over the side. Her own teammate. Like, he wasn't even anything to her, which, shocks both Caulifla and Kaba. And whereas the Namekians of Universe 6 come in to try to reason with her, not use force, she blasts them out of the ring. So no little great moment with Piccolo and the two Namekians, which is very much a saddening thing, because that moment with Piccolo and the Namekians of Universe 6 was actually pretty awesome. But they get blasted off like they ain't even shit. Caulifla's like, what the hell, man? And then Kaba mentions that Kale might be the legendary Saiyan. Not legendary Super Saiyan, legendary Saiyan. So that's a big difference there. And they go on to say, one that appears every 1,000 years, a monstrous Saiyan who goes out of control with power and ends up self-destructing. Very much like Broly in his first appearance up against Goku, where it wasn't so much like he got defeated, more like he just blew up from all the energy held within his body. So that becomes a threat into Kale's power right there, and I think that's a great way of going about things. Just like, this power has a cost. It's either she will be knocked out by a more stronger opponent, or she will self-destruct because her body cannot contain the amount of power it is putting out. And I think that is a wonderful way of going about this, rather than her just being this unstoppable force that just turns it on and off again from time to time. Even Kaba goes in to try to reason with her because he's at least had a little more time spent with her. But Even he gets just uppercutted right into the face and almost goes over the ring. But in comes his master Vegeta, being like, boy, what you doing? How you about to be knocked out by your own teammate? Disgraceful. Disgraceful to your whole Saiyan heritage. And ultimately, Kaba tells Vegeta about the entire situation. Meanwhile, Kale has moved on to the Pride Troopers, and she is wrecking the fuck out of them, at least for the most part. But then Vegeta goes on to state that, all that power is, one thing, she's using it for brute force, but there's no sense or commonality to it. And he notices that the Pride Troopers, despite being weaker than Kale, are starting to kind of understand her more primal movements, dodging, going in for more coordinated attacks. They're, planning around her power. Despite the fact that they're weaker, they're more strategic, and no amount of brute force can take down strategic attacks from people who are at least a little powerful. So Vegeta just brushes it off, saying like, it's about to be dealt with. He's like, whatever, man. Just gotta deal with it. And so the Pride Troopers start wrecking Kale's shit because she is too slow. Her power is maximum, but her skills are paltry. And so, as she's knocked to the ground by the Pride Troopers and they are ready to put in the finishing blow, Kaba asks Vegeta, what should I do? I can't have her be taken out here and now. But Vegeta's just like, dude, don't be so naive. I may have saved you, but you've got to learn to deal with this on your own. And so Cauliflower is just like, yo, Kaba, we gotta go in. Kale's about to be knocked out, and she's one of our best options. And Kaba's just like, yeah, let's go, let's do this thing. Cauliflower gets ready, and out of her pants, I don't know where exactly she was hiding that shit, in her belly button or some shit, comes Potara earrings that she managed to swipe from this from the Supreme Kai of Universe 6 that she was planning to pawn off after the tournament. However, Champa notices this and is just like, Cauliflower, put that on your ear and have Kale put it on her opposite ear. And he's just like, just do it. It's a final strategy. I don't care about the rules about not using tools. Just do this shit. And they're both Cauliflower and Kaba are just like, yeah, let's do it, let's plan it, let's go in. And he ultimately tells Cauliflower, just put it on your ear, I'll take care of Kale. He goes rushing in to get to Kale, only for Despo to come from behind, keeping him from interfering. But, and he starts getting wrecked by Dispo because Dispo just has far too much speed. His attacks are about as strong as Kaba's, but there's too much quickness and power behind it all. However, he's stopped by Cauliflower's intervention, putting him in a full Nelson, which, as we know, no one can escape from a full Nelson. It's just not done, at least not in this series. And as the Pride Troopers proceed to knock Kale off of the platform, Kaba, the MVP of this chapter, goes in, dives towards Kale, grabs her, puts the earring on her, throws her back on the stage, and gives a thumbs up as he falls out of bounds. So, Kaba, good on you, bro. Good strategy, good planning. More powerful people will take UI place. I am out. But you two are showing potential, strength, and a great deal of growth. You're our best hope. Go in, take these jabronis down. And so, with the Potara on both Cauliflower and Kale, they dive into fusion and form Kefla. Yes, she is here as well in the manga, and she wastes no time in just analyzing, man, I am brimming with power. And as Champa starts to kind of worry with Beerus calling out, they use Partaro, they use the tool, they should be out, but naturally the two Omni Kings are just like, man, this is amazing. One even is just like, this is bananas. Bananas. And so, Kefla is, well, even though she is surrounded by the Pride Troopers, it's just like, I'm full of power. You guys are done. Like that moment from, the Shazam trailer, he just looks over to the Pride Troopers like, you're dead, you're out of here, Spandex Squad, and she rushes in and picks up where Kale left off of just wasting these dudes like they are nothing. She even has this cute little moment where she just shrugs and just like, hey, that's just how it goes, bitches, and just starts swinging all over the place, and these guys are getting mick wrecked. They are getting shreked. It is just a sight to see, and just like that, 6 of the Pride Troopers are out for the first time. And you have you know Universe 11 just wondering what the hell is going on, and Kefla goes in, Dex Bispo one, and they are just all on the ground. And Goku calls over to Jiren, yo, you might want to help your boys. They kind of getting their asses promptly handed to them. And Jiren's just like, yeah, I don't see any need to do that. Just like, dude, they are literally bags of meat right now. And they're thrown before Jiren, and one of them asks, just like, yo, Jiren, you mind helping us out a little bit? And Jiren's just like, oh no. Oh no, man. Just gives him that look. Meanwhile, Kefla is just like, yeah, I'm just gonna blast you guys. I got Goku, Jiren, and the rest of these Pride fucks. I'm just gonna blast you off. Sends out this beam of energy, which Jiren ain't even shrugging at this shit. And then, of all things, in comes Gohan, just smacking that thing away like it's just like, get that weak shit out of here. I'm just like, whoa, did you just deflect an attack from a fusion? A Potara fusion on top of that? Damn, Gohan! Damn! And Gohan's just like, yo, step back. I got this, Dad. And I'm like, Gohan, oh, finally, I've waited so long for this, Gohan. I've waited so long. And Kefla's just like, who the fuck are you? And Gohan snaps back like, I'm just like you, but born on Earth. Bitch! He doesn't add that bitch line, but damn, the look he's given, like, oh my god, it is a blessing. Thank you, Toriyama. Thank you, God. Holy shit, this is amazing. Now, whether he'll actually manage to step up against Caulifla, that is one thing, but man, I wish we had gotten that fight in the anime, cause like, that's perfect. It doesn't insult Goku's power in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't diminish the power that Kale was putting out, and it still shows off that, yo, the potential of Saiyans is astronomical. It's unfortunate we didn't really get to know a lot of the universe, but, the anime already showed us that was a dead end, and these, other universes were, for the most part, just fodder in terms of the fight, so might as well just get them out of here now before they can embarrass themselves later down the line. This was a fun chapter, action-packed. We flew through so many universes. We're pretty much towards the end of the showdown now. It is insane. And this ultimate showdown between Kefla and Gohan, oh, This is gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be beautiful. It's going to be so beautiful. Thank you so much for this. This is great. I love everything about this. Please let it be an amazing fight between Gohan and Kefla. I will love this series forever if it is. Mwah. Beautiful. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you ready to see Gohan finally throw down against a worthy opponent? Hopefully he does not get clowned in this, because I will take back everything I said. Be like, man, why y'all bring this boy in here to die like this? But man, if they manage to pull this off, this will be one of the greatest moments in Dragon Ball Super. I'll be so happy. Just I gotta stop fanboying out of this. But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think? Do you think Gohan stands a chance, or do you think he's gonna get clowned? Are you excited by this, or do you feel like it's too much of a, I don't really care for this? Just tell me your thoughts, and leave me a like if you liked what I had to say about this chapter, or a dislike if you didn't. Lets me know where I stand. Criticize the fuck out of me. I don't care. Well, I do care. Let's kind of helps me develop. But just tell me your thoughts, give me the like, give me the dislike, and subscribe for more Dragon Ball Super, because I am sure as shit not missing the next one. Thanks for joining me.